What's up everyone, the Slime Sonic fan here, and welcome to my first review of the channel season, and also the first of many reviews of the Resident Evil films. Resident Evil, the game that single-handedly revolutionized the survival horror genre of gaming. Taking the gaming community by storm, Resident Evil grew in mass popularity, earning it 8 main titles, 2 mini spin-offs to count, 6 theatrically live-action films, and 3 direct-to-video CG animated movies, which I'll talk about first. The live-action monstrosities come later. So with that said, Resident Evil Degeneration released in 2008. I watched it a few weeks back because of my returning love for the series and for curiosity reasons, and I watched it just recently for the sake of this review. And man, it sure is a movie. But is it a slightly flawed, underappreciated love letter to the fans of the series? Or is it a garbage entry in the franchise and doesn't deserve to be made, let alone talk about? Well, let's talk about it. I'm going to try to keep this plot summary as brief as possible and spoilers, and I'm just letting you know there's going to be severe spoilers for this movie, so keep that in mind. So, let's begin.
Let me go!
Come on, back up.
Back up, I was reloading. Why would you play it that?
No. So this film takes place years after the incident of the Raccoon City, which, if you don't know, was nuked to oblivion due to a zombie outbreak. The public doesn't know what happened and demand answers, and they're also trying to shut down a new corporation named Real Pharma, who has various accusations and screenshots of human testing, which paints them in the same light as Umbrella. While this is going on, Claire and some random little girl are paired, and they wait for the girl's aunt to return. By now you would have noticed the animation, and it's alright by today's standards. It has some great scenes, but also some rough moments. Overall, it's just great, especially for 2008. By the way, just to let you know ahead of time, not too many of these characters are memorable, and I am really bad with names. But instead of googling them, I've decided to go with a fun twist. Every major character whose name I don't remember is receiving a nickname. So Claire and the girl wait for her aunt to return, and they have a brief conversation with this dude who I'm nicknaming I'm Not a Bad Guy. I'm Not a Bad Guy leaves, and we're introduced to another character who's hated by the public for endorsing Real Pharma, who also happens to be a senator. I'm nicknaming him I'm So Gonna Survive This Movie. Now this guy is the most Capcom written character I think I've ever seen. He's so one-dimensional and douchey, it's kinda hilarious to the point where him just being him made me laugh out loud a few times. Anyways, I'm So Gonna Survive This Movie gets spotted and gets bombarded, but shortly after, an outbreak mysteriously happens in the airport, resulting in Claire, the girl, the senator, and a few extras taking refuge in some random room. Left to deal with this mess is Angela and her good friend, who I'm nicknaming Tank Dempsey. That's barely a nickname because not only are the two voiced by the same voice actor, but this character is a stubborn hothead similar to our favorite American badass featured in COD Zombies. So Angela and Tank are sent a special agent to assist them, and that special agent is none other than Leon S. Kennedy, a series favorite from the games. Now, I did initially despise his depiction of Leon. Leon has a 3-step arc in the games. When he made his debut in Resident Evil 2, he was a brave but naive rookie cop who had no idea what he was doing. In Resident Evil 4, he was a heavily more matured and experienced special agent who had quite the mouth on him, while was also still a little incompetent at times. Things come full circle in Resident Evil 6 when Leon is a fully experienced professional who's still not afraid to crack a joke every now and then. Now, with this movie taking place only a few years since Resident Evil 4, I was really expecting a RE version of Leon who was experienced but not quite there yet. But this version gives us a Leon who's stone-faced and super professional, but lacks any of the charm that makes Leon, well, Leon. However, I paid a little more attention to Leon on my second viewing, and while I still wish he was more reminiscent of RE4's version, he still is the Leon with the big heart we all know and love. Anyways, Angela and Tank don't even know that zombies exist due to them being kept hidden from the public, so they don't really believe what Leon is telling them, which is understandable. What's not understandable is when these two go out of their way to ignore everything Leon warns them about. I get he doesn't look militaristic, but this is still a special agent sent directly from the White House. I think he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, come on! Yeah! Freaks!
No, Tank, it's freak bags. Get it? Freak bags.
Yeah! Woo!
Meanwhile, Claire hears someone and leaves the room she's in, and the only available weapon around, and in Capcom's wise grand subtlety, is a red and white umbrella. I'm not even kidding, she looks down at it and goes,
Never saw this coming.
So the two groups meet up and Leon advises that they make a run for the entrance. They have no choice but to do so, but on the way, Tank gets bit helping the senator and he goes out staying behind. Don't worry Tank, as long as you bought Tombstone, you should have your weapons back next round. So the group get caught between two hordes and Leon and Claire shoot at the zombies, and as they're doing this, I'm so gonna survive this movie is yelling, "Can't you go faster?" Jesus Christ. Eventually, the group make it out and the girl is reunited with her aunt. By the way, on their way out, I'm so gonna survive this movie, pushed past the girl and knocked her from the two zombies who were about to kill her. During this heartfelt reunion, he's watching them and he goes, "I can't stand kids." We get it, Capcom, we know we're not supposed to like this guy. Please give your subtle writing a rest. So then Claire sees Will Farmer trucks going to the area, and she's at first instantly hostile to their presence until it's revealed by I'm Not a Bad Guy, who made a brief appearance earlier, that Will Farmer aren't the bad guys, and they in fact had the cure to the T-virus this entire time. For those of you who are unaware what the T-virus is, the T-virus is the standard virus of the series which turns people into your average zombies that you know from modern media. So Angela questions why they didn't get here sooner, but it turns out that TerraSave, the force Claire's in, prevented them from having access to the area, making it all their fault. Facing extreme guilt, Claire is upset, but Leon comes in and reassures her that she's a hero, which is probably the best moment in the movie. And like I said, the soft Leon we all know and love is still here. Suddenly, the Will Farmer trucks blow up and everyone starts coming up with theories for who it is until they come to the conclusion that it's a man by the name of Curtis. Curtis also ran into Claire earlier in the movie, but the exchange was so brief I forgot to mention it until now. Then, in a strange turn of events, Curtis is Angela's brother. Dun dun dun! So Leon and Angela go after Curtis while Claire hitches her ride with I'm Not a Bad Guy to Will Farmer's base. Leon and Angela make it to Curtis' house, which is now in flames, and it's revealed that Curtis was a nice guy, but unfortunately, his wife and kids were in Raccoon City when it got blown up. I'm not even kidding, that's a pretty cool backstory for a Resident Evil villain. Then we get a really nice scene of Angela mourning what's happening with her brother. Meanwhile, I'm Not a Bad Guy and Claire arrive at the Will Farmer facility, and for some reason I cannot fathom, I'm Not a Bad Guy tells Claire that Will Farmer has a hold of the G virus and was planning on making a cure for it, but due to it being hard, dangerous, something along those lines, they decide to just dump it. For those of you who are unaware, the G virus is a virus strain introduced in Resident Evil 2. William Birkin, an Umbrella scientist, was shredded with gunfire by special agents and only survived by injecting himself with it. This caused William Birkin to morph into various horrific stages of his mutation, making him more scary and more dangerous each encounter with him. However, that was the only time we ever saw the G virus, so to see it return in this movie is pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Claire instantly tells Leon while I'm Not a Bad Guy leaves the room. Suddenly, Claire is interrupted by I'm Not a Bad Guy, who warns her that there's a time bomb about to go off, and then the line is severed by said bomb. Leon and Angela hurry over there. Angela is the first to make it to the bottom floor, and her brother reveals that all he wants to do is expose Umbrella and what happened in Raccoon City, and now he's injected himself with the G virus to make that dream a reality. So you know what that means. Leon makes it down and him and Angela temporarily stop the infected Curtis. They make a run for it, but Curtis catches up to them in a pretty cool showdown. Then Angela is grabbed and she begs Leon to leave her, but since this is our boy Leon, he obviously doesn't do that, and the entire facility along with all of the G-Virus chains are destroyed. Then our characters find out that the quiet, tall, professional-looking guy with questionable motives who had a lame off-screen death is actually alive, and he was responsible for all of this, so he could sell some important data and a G-Virus sample to some random contactor. He's quickly caught, and the movie comes to a close in a beautiful, hopeful fashion reminiscent of the games.
Let's go diving together again sometime.
Love to.
Sorry Leon, but Ada is a far more cooler love interest. Please stick with her. Then Claire and Leon part ways, and that's the end of the movie. Oh yeah, that Cinder guy is totally dead, by the way, and there's a confusing cliffhanger I don't understand. I assume it's Wesker's organization retrieving the G-Virus, I have no clue. And that's the ending of the movie. And I don't know what to think. From a character standpoint, things are okay. Like I said, Leon is still the badass charismatic hero we all know and love. Claire was just as awesome as in this movie as she is in the games. Angela was okay, and I wish we got to explore more of Curtis since his past and motivations were pretty interesting. However, unfortunately, aside from those four, every other character was either pointless or lazily written. As for the action, I guess it's okay. I mean, it's nicely animated and there is a lot of movement, but aside from the final encounter of Curtis, it's really bland for the most part. As for the animation, it still holds up and it is really impressive for 2008, but most of the characters look ugly in this and there are some rough spots with the animation. Other than that, the animation is pretty good. In conclusion, Resident Evil Degeneration is an okay movie. While its existence is pointless, there's some interesting world building here and there, the pacing isn't that bad, and the plot can be engaging on the first viewing. While it is too flawed to be considered good, it is too harmless to be considered bad. That's why Resident Evil Degeneration gets a 3 out of 5 just barely for me. But what about you guys? Have you guys watched this movie? If you have, comment your opinions on it down below. I haven't seen any reviews yet, so it'd be interesting to see some other opinions on it. If not, then how does this movie look? Let me know down below. As always, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, then please like and subscribe, and as always, I will see you guys next time. Peace, everyone. What's up everyone, this Lion Sonic fan here, and today I just wanted to properly announce the revival of a new group channel me and my friends are in called The Proteins. The Proteins was the channel me and my good friend at the time, That Kid, created so me, him, and our friend group could all share a channel and post fun, chill gaming videos together. While I don't talk to That Kid as much as I used to, and I'm not sure if he has any interest in the channel revival, I do in fact talk to most of the friends I had at the time, and now the channel is being revived. So if you get tired of me playing games alone or droning on about my thoughts on a certain film or game, then I highly encourage you to check out this channel, as this would be where all of my videos with friends will go. As far as scheduling goes, there'll be a new gaming video every Tuesday and Friday. We're planning on doing stuff like co-op playthroughs and Movie Madness episodes in the future, but we're still figuring out stuff like that scheduling wise. So expect further updates on the channel in the future. As far as who's on the channel, there's me, there's Brandon, who has been featured in various videos for 4 years now, DJ, who's been here just as long, Fumble, who's been my friend for 6 years now, Corey, who I've known for almost a year now and won my second TDM contest, and another Corey, who I've known for a year now but hasn't made any appearances in my videos as of yet. These guys are some of the best friends I could ask for, and I am thrilled to record with them going forward. To clear up any confusion, this isn't a clan channel, I'm already in one. This is a fun group channel that we're all going to be working on, and I am very excited. So head on over there and at the very least check it out. You'd be doing me a great favor. Thanks for listening, and if you choose so, then I will see you guys over at The Proteins. Peace out everyone.